her challenge to me and my challenge to all of you is get some sort of movement for the next week. As soon as you wake up for 1 to 5 minutes, right? It could be yoga. It could be a plank. It could be some jumping jacks. It could be some push-ups. It could be just what? Breath work?
Stretching. Yeah, stretching. Laying on the floor.
The idea is to get out of your head and into your body. And really, even more so, connect your head and body, right? Mm-hmm. Am I correct?
You're right on target, because what is one of the things, the foundations that we teach, is letting your body be your guide in terms of trying to make decisions on when to eat and when to stop eating, right? If we are disconnected from our body, well, that tool is going to be really hard to use. And there's 100,000 other things we do in the day that could benefit from our brains and bodies being connected.
What's up, guys? So we just shot a whole video. Really, really good. I think it was really powerful stuff. But part of me is like, Haley, I feel like we could have just done this in 3 minutes. And it's kind of like a book. Books usually have, 1 to 3 main ideas, but there's a lot of context that builds up and makes the ideas that much more powerful and compelling. Anyway, I'm like, I think we can do this in 3 minutes. She's like, all right, let's shoot it. Let's try it. So here we are. So very quickly, can you give us a short version of the idea?
Yes.
All right.
The highlights. Tune your instrument daily. Ideally, first thing in the morning before you start engaging with your technology and the people in your house, right? And the instrument I'm talking about is your body. And I contend it's best done with a bit of intentional movement. Note, I didn't say exercise. And your favorite line, Adam, checking in with the breath. So that's kind of the context here.
And it started because Haley's kids are learning instruments and their teacher tells them to tune up the instrument, right? Yeah. And that idea kind of captivated you in that it's like they're really learning how to listen to the instrument and adjust, right?
Based on what they're hearing, right? Like he plays the note and my son has to play the same note. And then the teacher just kind of sets him out there and is like, what do you hear? Is it high? Is it low? And, a lot of times my sons don't know.
Right.
So yeah, he's teaching him how to use his ear, use his instrument to tune his instrument.
Right. And you're saying the analogy is instead of actually tuning a musical instrument, we're tuning our body. And you believe the best way to do that is through movement. Some sort of movement first thing.
Yes.
Instead of looking at your phone, instead of looking at emails, instead of just turning on the TV, because I always say, like, you can't control your thoughts for the most part, but you can control your input, which definitely controls your thoughts, right? If I'm reading about donuts, I'm probably going to want a donut. So I don't read about donuts.
Unless you want to have a donut.
So you're saying movement first thing. And the joke was, and video is getting long, but I think it's all right. You were saying checking in, and I was just kind of harping on that word because to me, the idea of checking in is seeing how something is doing, and then based on how they're doing, changing something. Mm-hmm. And I was harping on it because you're not saying that. What you're saying is like more so tuning up or warming up. Mm. That is easier for me to move past.
Okay. But also, like, you are checking in. You have to, because you have to meet yourself where you're at every day. So that is part of it, but physically.
So this is where the tricky part was, because part of the work we do is, and practice is, as we talked about last time, is like when you have two decisions, ideally you want to go with the more uncomfortable one because that's almost always going to lead you to where you want to be, right? Easy choice is hard life. Hard choice is easy life. And if I always choose the easier path, and there's many times where I'm going to wake up and I don't necessarily feel like exercising right away. Mm-hmm. So how do you, that's where I was kind of getting stuck too.
Right. So I think what we keep bumping into is this idea that I'm talking about, like letting yourself off the hook because of how you feel emotionally. That is not what I'm talking about, right? But we did kind of drill down to if your body's achy and sore, right? Or maybe you didn't sleep well and you're actually physically tired. Well, then going and asking yourself to run the half marathon you had planned today for your training is probably not a good idea. That's meeting yourself. Now, did I say don't do anything? No, right? Like, this is definitely not a let yourself off the hook. But like, if we go back to the instrument example, if you're playing a concert in the blazing sun, as I've learned, your instrument is probably going to fall flat throughout the concert. So you're going to constantly kind of have to check in, how's it doing, and tune it back up, right? So if you're operating on low sleep and you check in with your physical body and your body's like, yeah, dude, I'm really tired today. Like, you're just going to have to do a little extra checking in throughout the day and kind of give yourself space to tune back up. Did that help?
Yeah, no, it's good.
Okay, good.
Yeah, okay. So,
okay.
And the challenge we left off with was, instead of looking at your phone or email or computer or whatever it is first thing, for the next week, we challenge you, and Haley challenged me because I don't do this as of now, because I told her, to me, I prioritize sleep and hanging out with my kids in the morning before they go to school. I'd rather, exercise later on, although she said this is not exercise, this is just movement. And that's a big distinction here. Her challenge to me and my challenge to all of you is get some sort of movement for the next week. As soon as you wake up, for 1 to 5 minutes, right? It could be yoga, it could be a plank, it could be some jumping jacks, it could be some push-ups, it could be just breath work?
Stretching. Yeah, stretching. Laying on the
idea
floor,
is to get out of your head and into your body. And really, even more so, connect your head and body, right?
Mm-hmm.
Am I correct?
You're right on target, because what is one of the things, the foundations that we teach, is letting your body be your guide in terms of trying to make decisions on when to eat and when to stop eating, right? If we are disconnected from our body, well, that tool is going to be really hard to use. And there's 100,000 other things we do in the day that could benefit from our brains and bodies being connected.
Right. So it reminds me, I'm a huge basketball fan. A lot of players, before they play basketball, they're stretching, but they're also doing a lot of activation movements that are just like little movements, right? They're getting their muscles prepared. They're getting their muscles to, be prepared to fire on all cylinders. And this is basically what you're saying.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. Yep. That's exactly what I'm saying. And don't overcomplicate it. Don't overthink it. Literally get out of bed and just do some easy movement. I'm not talking sweat session. Please don't do that. Unless that is like your jam. I mean, if you're like a F45 at 5 a.m. kind of person, be my guest.
Right.
But I think gentles is fine.
Right. Really. Especially for those who are not doing anything currently. I'm excited to try it. I think it's going to be great. There's no doubt any time spent out of your head and in your body is time well spent. And let us know how it goes. Comment below, email me, whatever you reach out. We're always here. And get some movement, see how it impacts the rest of your day. And I'm excited for you guys. I'm excited for me too.
Yeah, we'll look forward to hearing about how it's going for you as well, Adam.
Thank you. All right.
All right.
Good stuff, Haley.
Take care.